Yo, JD here, and as you can see, we are on F1 22 as always. But in today's video, we are going to be discussing something quite big in the world of F1 Esports. Something that has actually yet to be announced. And first of all, everything I say here hasn't been confirmed, so it might not happen. But the bombshell is that the next F1 Esports event, so event 3, will be held and played in Las Vegas, which is absolutely crazy. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I have quite a reliable source, someone who I can't name, has said that the drivers will be racing at the Las Vegas launch party venue. And as you can see, I'll link the article down in the description. It's held next week, and I think it starts from the 5th of November. So it will be in the time frame of when the event 3 will be due to be going ahead. But it also says that there are esports simulators present as well. But the biggest thing is this graphic right here, which again, don't know if it's legit, don't know if it's real, because we have done videos in the past. I think I did a video a while ago talking about Hockenheim and how it's going to be added to the game. That graphic did prove to be fake. But this one here has been something that's been circulating online that says that the esports event will be in Las Vegas. Event 1, 2 and 4 are all online, and it says it's going to be between the 2nd and the 4th of November, which does line up to how the current format has been going, where they have been starting on Wednesday and they've been doing one race, one qualifying each day, all the way through to Friday. So the dates match up, and if this graphic is legit, then it says that the drivers are going to be in Las Vegas next week. If not, they're already, because I have seen a few drivers online discussing how they would love a LAN, or when I mean LAN, I mean about a local area network, so actually playing at the arena rather than at home, how they'd wish for it to come back. Maybe this was their tease of exactly that happening. So what do you think of this? For me, it is very, very exciting. Now, I've been at a LAN, I've been at the esports event at the Gfinity Arena before, and it just has an atmosphere and an experience that you just can't get from home. I also think that does explain why drivers such as Lucas Blakely didn't play from home in Event 2. Actually went to the McLaren Technology Centre, because I think that was maybe his way of actually preparing for this event, because in the first one he actually won 2 out of 3 races. If that was me, I would want to be staying at home on the cockpit that I was very comfortable on. I wouldn't want to change a thing if I'm driving my absolute best there. So other than maybe a direct order from the team, maybe this was his way of preparing for this event, which again I am very excited for, because I truly do believe that there are many drivers who will perform much better in a live event where they're all together. And I think drivers such as Jan Watmir, this is actually really going to help him quite a lot, because I think he does perform very well when he was at the arena. Same for people like Rasmussen, Denny Beresnay, Marcel Kiefer. But I do think it might be harder for others as well, because I don't think the official cockpit is play seat. So there will be a number of drivers who will have to adapt and adjust themselves to a completely new cockpit and a different rig, which, those 1%, those differences, those small details will have a pretty big difference Because as we've seen in esports, the qualifying sometimes in Q1 from first to last could be under maybe even a 10th at times. Every detail matters, so it will never feel quite the same and what they are used to. But let me know what you think. Do you think this is actually legit, or that maybe it's a bit of a fake hype? But if we're going by the dates of the format and the calendar is exactly the same as well. It says 22 here. Then I'd imagine the drivers have known about this for months, but they just haven't been able to speak about it. And I think I have seen a couple of the drivers who were in the States this weekend as well. So for me, I think we should be seeing an announcement pretty quickly on whether this is going to go ahead or not. And I think the only time that they've done this before is when they had the very first esports event where the finale was held in Abu Dhabi. That's actually an event I did go to, and from speaking to people internally again, the reason why they haven't done that or repeated that is because of just the logistics, or just the organising of the equipment, also how unreliable the equipment was as well, because it was next to a live racetrack. That did affect the reliability of the wheels, the monitors, the PCs, everything such as that. But also a big factor was the financial side, so the cost of it was ranging into the hundreds of thousands. Because if anyone has seen some clips of the very first F1 esports finale in Abu Dhabi, the hotel that the driver stayed in, the flights, just the ranging of the equipment and the cost that must have taken, it was a pretty big effect. But also the source who has been supplying me this information has also said that the plans are for next year is that the finale will be in Abu Dhabi again, so they will be returning to that for 2023. But also for each event next season, it will be held in a different country. So I'd imagine it might be at one of the racetracks that the event or the track list for that event will be on, but they're planning to go to a different country for each event that they're doing, with the finale being in Abu Dhabi. So for me, it makes it much more exciting. I think playing online from home is very convenient for quite a lot of the drivers and people, but I think there's nothing better than trying to have everyone on exactly the same equipment. So exactly the same PCs, exactly the same cockpit, under exactly the same conditions. Now, I think sometimes people will have an advantage from playing at home and being in a little bit more of a comfortable setting. Some people might even have better PCs that can run the game a little bit more smoothly as well, which will make a difference. If it can make a 10th difference, then that's going to mean maybe the difference between going from a Q1 to a Q2 or Q3, for example. So please let me know what your thoughts are of this potential bombshell that we should be having, because if there is going to be an announcement, it needs to be soon, or it might even be done by the time I've actually stopped speaking in this video. And if that is the case, then please let me know what your predictions are for the rest of the season, as we almost lose the car here. But for me, myself, again, I am very excited. Seeing people on the same playing field, same exact scenario, I think is what everyone wants to see. See who performs the best under the pressure, because obviously when you're in that arena, in that live setting, you don't have your home comforts around you. That really, I think in my opinion, will show who can handle the pressure much more than some other drivers. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are, and we'll move back onto this gameplay here now, which you've seen. We're in the F2 cars again. First one was at Mexico, where we came from back of the grid up to P4, and you can see here the racing is absolutely insane. It really is just absolutely nuts how close you can have in terms of the batting together. And in my opinion, I said it in one of my last videos, I find the racing a lot more satisfying in these cars itself. As coming into it, almost was going about 3 or 4 wide coming into this turn 1. This guy Barney Rip is trying to go down the inside. The Furious had a little bit of contact here, and we're almost going to try and go through wide to first at this moment, but I decide to back out of it because I don't think it's quite going to work here. Now we're going side by side, going up into P3, just prematurely going through into here, and doing okay, but then these two have had a little bit of a tangle in the exit, and now we are behind Furious 5185, who is a pretty fast driver. And once again, just want to say thank you to any new extra rotation members to the channel. Also, people who've just been joining the YouTube membership, so clicking that join button will get you a priority access invite into these lobbies because they do fill up very quickly. And also a discount on my one-to-one coaching, coachlimitless.com. And also my access to my updated setups, which I upload quite on a regular basis. But moving into here, we're on lap 3 now, and the slipstream in these cars is actually, I'd say, probably a little bit stronger than it is in the F1 cars. So we're just going to try and use Furious to get back within touching distance of the leader here. And there were quite a few fast drivers in this lobby, such as Furious, Destroyer, Sean behind, Goxley, FLK, Craze. There's quite a few drivers in here who seem to be pretty competitive in these F2 cars, which I'm definitely looking into getting into maybe a league, or maybe even creating my own league. If that's something you'd like me to do, then please let me know, because I think it would definitely be a lot of fun to race competitively in these cars. And maybe even one day for F1 Esports. Maybe if they did an F2 Esports, I think that would be quite entertaining. Maybe if they did like a promotion system for people who didn't quite get into the top 30 on the F1. They get dropped into F2. And maybe the winners of F2, maybe the top 3, automatically get a seat in a team for F1. I think that would be something actually quite exciting. But let me know what your thoughts are, as we're just trying to get as close as we can to Furious here. So no benefit of ERS here because we can't use it in these cars, so it's just a slipstream. You can see it is quite powerful in the straight line. Everyone is using the same setup as well, so there are no real advantages over any other driver. Everyone's using exactly the same thing, so they should be going the same speed in a straight line. As you can see, we are starting to gain a bit on the leader, so we're trying to be like Verstappen and Leclerc yesterday, just using Leclerc to drag us closer to the leader. But this is the point where we need to be a little bit more closer, because we want to try and overtake him before he gets within the DRS zone of the leader up ahead. But it was going through this middle sector, we were struggling just a little bit. As you can see, he gets some really good traction coming off here. But with the DRS, we're going to reel ourselves back in quite quickly. And you can see he's around about 2 tenths away from being within the DRS zone of the leader. So making sure we get a really good exit. That's our second warning, so one more of those. And it will be a 3-second time penalty. And we've got to make sure we get a really good exit coming off this corner, because it looks like, again, he's not going to be quite within the detection zone of the leader himself. So we're getting a really, really good run coming through Parabolica, trying to get right underneath that gearbox, getting in the slipstream, and let's see how easy it's going to be. So set fast up a race over 29.8. Is he going to defend this? The answer is no, but don't have quite enough speed to get back on that racing line, so we couldn't use all of the track here, which will compromise our line just a little bit more. And coming through here, we actually get quite a good exit, so we're going to be within the DRS zone, but it's through this section of the track that I felt I struggled a little bit in terms of the pace of these cars. So coming through to here, could have just been taking quite a bit more speed through here. You can see Weeksy actually gets a bit of a gain on the lap time going through there, running a little bit out wide, and coming through here, really important to get a good exit. Try and get as good exit as we can, which we do gain a bit on the exit, but you can see he's managed to kind of maintain that advantage, so we did get a bit of DRS zone, which was absolutely crucial going through this part of the lap. Going through Ascari, just making sure we're not cutting the corner this time. It's on this part of the lap where I feel we actually were quite fast. As Furious, I didn't know how close he was behind, so we're going quite defensive, so doing a bit of a Lance Stroll there, going down the last straight. He tries to go on the outside bit and then tries to go maybe for the switchback. We're just going to try and carry the momentum going through this last corner and going across the line. We're going to come home in P2 here. Thank you so much for everyone who joined these lobbies. Please let me know what you think of these graphics and these leaks potentially in terms of the F1 Esports. Thank you so much for support on the channel, and I'll be catching you very, very soon. Peace.